overseas, of course, there's always an
Right.
exception. But I would love for them to prove that to be the majority of the men going overseas. They're trying to accuse me of being a John. I would love for them to pull up a video where they've seen me promote, hey, you need to come to South America or Asia. You need to come down here and buy. I've never told anybody. You've heard me say numerous times I don't enjoy that type of environment where I feel like I would have to. There's just a bunch of prostitutes running around. I don't like those type of environments.
Faith is before you. Choose wisely. Before we start this show, this will be a limited interruption show. What we're going to see in this show is the hypocrisy behind this woman that was an OnlyFans model, but also we're going to see and understand why Auston Holleman is demanding an apology. And at some time, we will explore why women or the rabid feminist Stephanie Ribeiro does not have the same animus for other men, specifically white men, and when they use convenient excuses or convenient experiences to more or less silence and expose those that have an agenda against it. Look at the show, guys. Tell me what you think. And I want you guys to see the hypocrisy and why Auston is saying, I demand an apology.
You have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want. I don't care. But
that being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
And that's what they cover in.
You guys are hearing what they're talking about and literally the same shaming language. I was literally on the phone with my man Auston a minute ago. He's going to come through, guys, in a minute. I need you guys to share this stream because Auston is going to come up in a minute. We're going to break this thing down. We got a good show coming up on Saturday as well. We're going to talk about passport bros and beyond. But, guys, remember, a lot of this stuff that you guys see that's going on is a byproduct, what I believe is witchcraft. I believe it's about power and control. And some of it is because, they're dealing with vicarious trauma. I'm going to do that show on tomorrow. But a lot of this, guys, is power and control. It's power and control, to say it the least. And that's why you men must stand firm in your own power. And you can't let these ideologues shame you into submission because that's what they want to do. Shout out to my man, James Turner. Shout out to Timothy Harden, Hammer TV. Shout out to those brothers, Barry Hamilton as well. And once again, guys, donate to the channel if you have not donated, and also share the stream. Thank you.
Talk about it. Communications specialist Priscilla Pack and Rochelle Gemini both are here on The Factor Uncensored. We were supposed to do this last week. We're doing it this week. You have done a lot of research. When you think about and what you've heard about Passport Bros, your opinion on this so-called group?
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar.
And guys, some of these old simp servers, they don't have no male genitalia, to say the least. They are eunuchs, because anytime men damn do something, you got these goofballs and these old simps that play a role in this foolishness. And that's why, guys, you have what's called simp servers to go across the internet, causing chaos, saying this.
Why are you destroying our planet?
I have no choice.
Yeah, simp servers like, a lot of these old modern men, they don't feel like they have no choice. They feel like they got to denigrate black men. They feel like they got to shame black men into silence. And the question remains, is all passport bros are the same, or are some just hookmas in the midst of the good brothers trying to get wives, travel, and enjoy their lives? But they try to equivocate all passport bros as, oh, they're going there for sex tourism. But you guys will see in a minute the hypocrisy that many are actually experiencing, because the same one accusing black men of doing X, Y, Z, black women have been doing it, is doing it, white women have been doing it, is doing it, and white males as well. But when black men do it, then it's a problem, because guys, they don't feel like you have a voice. They want to be over you. They want you guys to be their rats. And I'm telling you tonight that you don't have to be anyone's rat, because you guys are free men and you can be liberated if you know what your worth is.
You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9. So that's cool. Passport brothers. That's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, you know, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care. But
that being black women in America, putting them down for...
Once again, this woman has what's called cognitive dissonance. We know that there might be a percentage of men that are doing that, but they're not putting women down because they hate black women. Once again, the men on this panel do not hate black women. Most men that are traveling abroad for Afro-Latin or African women. They just don't like the behavior, guys. They don't like the behaviors associated with a lot of these women. And because of that, that's why they're traveling abroad. When men tell you what their problems are and you don't listen to their problems, that's what causes these men to be frustrated. And they become even more frustrated because of the Pukma pirates that are going to these ecosystems causing chaos.
Women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more...
also submissive
to
them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
And that's what they're covering up. And you can tell that by...
And listen to this goofball guy. Oh, that's what they're covering up. But at the same time, why the hell do you care? Why do you care about something that men are doing, but yet you don't say anything about the women that do the damn same thing? You don't say nothing about when these black women go on trips to Jamaica or wherever, and they're doing the same thing. Once again, you can't be a tourist if people are not doing the solicitation. So do you hold the women culpable for selling whatever to American men? You can go in some countries and just walk on the streets and women will come up to you. So is that the man's fault? So who is the person to blame? Some men are going to other countries to find wives or for travel ventures or to see the country. There are some that are doing what they want to do, but I don't care about it. It's not my business. That's between them, God, and also their value system. I don't tell other men what to damn do with their phallus. But what these goofballs do, they equivocate the Pukmas that go to these countries and they overpay, they overspend, they simp, and they go flash money and throw it up in the air to make these women feel good, causing chaos in those ecosystems and making men that are men frustrated are trying to get wives at some point. But you can't damn equivocate all passport bros as the same, because they're not all the same, just like all black folks are not the same. Shout out to my man, Kendrick Campbell for that $2 super sticker, $5 super chat. I appreciate it, Kendrick Campbell. Thank you, sir, for your comments. I appreciate it. You know, guys, Austin's going to come up at some point, and we're going to break down this malady. And also, I plan to have Austin back again on Saturday. I got a couple of special guests coming up. Hold tight.
By the way that, what's his name, Austin, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really...
And see, this is what this woman don't understand. One, they don't study Austin's content. Many of them don't study male content. Many, when they character assassinated Kevin Samuels, they look at all his content. They take clips, they look at the pretext, they look at the context, and then the post-text, and then they form a faulty opinion based on limited information because they already have confirmation bias. You cannot have confirmation bias when you're given a fair, equitable assessment. You got to look at all the factors and all the variables, and then you come up with a fair and justified assessment. But you can tell this woman does not look at his content. She looked at one snippet to justify her confirmation bias towards this young man. And it's unfortunate, but you know what, guys? Don't worry about that. Continue to travel. Continue to work on yourself. The men that are looking for wives, don't go looking for wives in resort areas. You're not gonna find good wives in those areas. You can find them, but the chances are slim. Go to areas where you have a higher chance of finding a wife. Go to areas, once again, where you have a higher chance of finding a traditional wife, many times in the countryside. And I'm going to suggest, or more or less make an assumption, that when you're on the countryside, that it greatly reduces your chance of dealing with women that are not traditional.
About to happen, because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out.
Now listen what she just said. We're just trying to get a lick. So most men that travel understand that those women try to exploit gringos. But why isn't the world talking about women exploiting men for their money? Why isn't the world talking about that? But what those women don't understand is that a lot of those foreign men see you women as licks. Those foreign men see you women as women that they're trying to more or less get a green card so they can come back and use you, then throw you in the trash can. Foreign men also see American women as licks, because what American men tolerate, those men are not going to tolerate. Actually, men have more power going abroad than American women, because when you go abroad, women, then you're in a patriarchy. Here, you're in a matriarchy. Patriarchies are in other countries, for the most part, this is a matriarchy. And so men that grew up in patriarchies are not going to damn tolerate matriarchal behavior. It goes against their upbringing.
I'm saying, we know these passport bros, they not new.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply Johns on the streets of America.
And listen to this old simp. You know, they're Johns, his goofy behind. And once again, he's no different than the most of them. They don't look at all the evidence. They make a false equivocation, a false judgment, talking about damn somebody or Johns. And they all do the same thing over and over and over again, because they have their own confirmation bias. And most of these guys are weak because they placate to women, and they don't take a stand or take a hard turn and saying, you know what, I'm not going to let you sit here and denigrate all men and say that they're all doing the same thing. That's why women don't respect American men, because they don't have a backbone with their goofy behinds. And he's sitting up talking about, oh, this Johns, his goofy behind. But yet he don't say this. He don't say anything about the countries that solicit American men for that same service. It makes no sense.
There might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but you didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we not just in America. You can claim.
Once again, dear, that's not your case to call them out. You focus on your own movement and let men focus on what men do. We know that there are Pukma pirates in this movement. We understand that there are Pukmas that denigrate or desecrate what Blue Book gentlemen are trying to do. Shout out to Brazil, yes, once again. We know that there's a difference between the two. But you need to focus on your own issues and focus on issues pertaining to you and womanhood, and let men do what men do. Shout out to my man James Turner for that shout out to my man James Turner. He said, Kosha, she's just upset because nobody is licking her.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
We're going to make this thing
That's a
pop off.
bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hold on. Also, they come through. And we're going to chop this thing up. And shout out to the young bull from Texas, because we stand strong with this young man. And so, guys, this is for Auston Holleman. Auston Holleman only. This is for Auston Holleman only. All right? This is for Auston Holleman. Auston, the link is there. Check the link out, brother, when you get a minute, all right?
Wherever you want to be, anytime. I don't care. Get a passport. Go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal. Go do your thing. We don't care.
And of course,
if you don't care, then why are you talking about it? Why would you care about lanes that you never selected and you don't select? Why do you care about those lanes? But yet at the same time, when the last 30 or 40, 50 years where women were saying what they wanted to say, then you didn't speak up. And then all of a sudden, men again beginning to get a level of empowerment and beginning to love themselves, and all of a sudden, it's a problem. Also, the link has been dropped, young buck. Come through when you can, man. I dropped the link, and I want you to give the audience some feedback to what's going on, the things that you've been dealing with. So come through, young buck, when you can.
We're not talking about all individuals who may travel out of the country, but Priscilla, for those who may be taking advantage of women out there and then trying to humiliate black women in America. Your thoughts about that?
I think it's really, really sad. Like I look at them and
So also let's go back and recap, brother. Let's go back and recap what some of what this man is saying and what some of these women are saying. And I thank you for tuning in, man. I know it's early in where you're at, but I appreciate you coming through. We got a fire show Saturday, man. That hopefully you can be part of. It's gonna be dope. I got a couple of guys on. But also, what do you think about this whole consternation about what these women are saying, what they're saying, and how they're trying to denigrate you, and also desecrate your name, to say the least?
As far as when the American women do it, I think they probably have heard of me before. If they haven't, they've seen some of my older videos, and they're looking at it as, oh, okay, well, you know, this is his payback, this is his karma, we're going to get back at him. But as far as the women in Brazil that are trying to slander my name, well, let's be honest, about 99% of them don't even know why they're slandering my name, because they're just running with the title without even watching the video. There's a handful of them that have actually watched the videos and commented on my Instagram and my YouTube defending me because they had enough sense to watch the video. But the main Brazilian woman or so-called Brazilian woman that's doing all this, she, from my understanding, she's just trying to build a name for herself, just like a prosecutor, thinking that they can take down this one person that's going to help their career. I guess that's what she views me as. And she's just going around spilling lies on different platforms in America. And a lot of the American women are, you know, it's foolishness that she's bringing to those platforms. But a lot of those American women are just going right along with it. And this is the reason why men have left the United States, because the women around us in our country don't care about our reputation, don't care about us at all, to the point where they'll let a foreigner come in and destroy one of their own men's names, which I don't care if they want to claim me or not, with lies that they know are lies. Mm-hmm. Lies that can be proven otherwise by clicking the play button on YouTube. All you gotta do is click play and it'll kill 99% of these arguments, not 100. Right.
And it's obvious, Auston, that this whole diatribe against you was taken out of context. It's safe to say it was taken out of context, but not only taken out of context, but it sounds like it's a witch hunt to me. So they took what you said out of context about saying American men are Brazilian women are easy. And so tell the audience what you meant by that, because I could be wrong. I took it that you're saying that they're easy and they're more cultural when it comes down to traditionalism in American relationships or traditional relationships. Tell the audience what you meant by that, because I think they tried to smear your name, to say the least.
Now, in this video that I have titled, "Are Brazilian Women Easy?" Okay, that is a question. I never said that they were easy in the title.
Right.
Now, when you click play on the video, which millions, if not, hundreds of thousands or people didn't even have enough sense to do. If you click play on the video, the first thing I say is, in general, Brazilian women are easy to deal with. I didn't bring up anything about sex until maybe towards the end or the middle of the video. But I made sure I made it a point to start off with other things, personality-wise, and just other things before I brought it up to sex. That way it wouldn't seem like that was the whole purpose of it. And when I say Brazilian women are easy to deal with, I elaborate on how they're affectionate, how their conversations they have a lot more substance. They're easier going. Right. Just easier to deal with. When you deal with a woman, it's not just about sex. So that was the whole point of that video. But that can all be clicked. You can just click play, and then it would kill the majority of these arguments.
Shout out to my man Guapo of Beautiful Lives. He was down with Auston yesterday, and shout out to him, good brother.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
In the interview with the Braves has an OnlyFans. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna show you guys the hypocrisy. No credibility in the interview whatsoever. And that's what I'm talking about, Auston. So you are not necessarily the passport bro general, but you are the part of the face of the movement, even though passport bros have been going on for years. Do you feel like you were a soft target or a hard target in this whole diatribe against you?
What would you describe a soft target as?
So a soft target is easy. Somebody feel like they can take down. A soft target could be, okay, let's say if I was a big dog, they won't mess with me, but you're a soft target because you are easy? Do you think they saw you as an easy target because you're young, or do you think you're a hard target because they saw you as the face and they want to more or less reduce the credibility of the Passport Bro movement?
I would say they probably view me as a soft target, but in reality, it's not that soft when you're just spewing lies and thinking that that's gonna, that it's not easy when you're ruining your own reputation because you're gonna get caught lying in the end. And like I said last night on Fox News, when this is all said and done, even if I right now in my mind right now, I don't even want to go back to Brazil, but even if I did, I want there to be an apology to clear up my name anyway.
Right. And that's why I said, man, at some point, if you deem it necessary, and it's up to you, you need to let it roll over like we were talking about last night, or you need to get a lawyer to sue this damn woman for defamation of character, man, because it's definitely defamation, in my opinion. Yeah. She took what you said out of context and defamed you because it was a power move, because they want to more or less use confirmation bias to justify whatever thing they have in their head towards American men and also their ethos. And so I want to show you something also. I don't know if you saw this Fox thing. We're going to talk about that as well. But let's look at what this woman has said about you. You become hot lately for a myriad of reasons, I think mostly good and bad. So I think you're becoming infamous because many people are giving you your props. Hold tight.
To you, or being fizzling that, and then what you're doing right now to those greater lengths you can. But
in your travel,
that's your question, man. I created a term called a pukma pirate, and a pukma pirate, Austin, basically is black men that go and mess up the ecosystem. A lot of people accuse you fallaciously of promoting sex tourism, which is crazy. My logic has always been, how can you promote something that you have legalized in your country? Make that make sense to me, man. Make that make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And the thing is, too, so now I guess they've come up with a new definition for sex tourism now, because if you Google it, it's talking about buying sex, right? But now, since I've been an issue, now all of a sudden it's not about just buying sex. I want them to show me a video where I've told men to come down here or go anywhere outside the United States and buy sex. I would love to see that. I don't recall myself ever saying that because I'm not that type of guy. I've said many times that we cannot sit here and complain about American women and then go to another country and just buy something that, and get a behavior out of somebody that she would behave that way anybody for that has the money. That doesn't make sense. I've always said, go down there and get you a genuine connection.
What's your take, man? Go ahead.
I've never even. When have you heard me when have you heard me say come to Brazil just for sex?
Right.
I've often said come to Brazil to get a girlfriend, get what you deserve.
Yes, sir. Right.
I've said that. But it's understood. It comes with publicity. People are going to try to lie. I get it.
Right. What has this done to your mental health overall? What has it done to your mental health, Austin? Has it caused you to be in a state of distress? How are you coping with this malady, to say the least?
It is stressful. Not because I feel like I'm guilty or anything. It's just it's stressful knowing, like, damn, how far are they going to try to lie? How far is that going to go? Just like, for example, the woman is lying. If I would still been in Brazil right now, her publishing that newspaper would stress me because it's like, look at how far she's going to lie, to the point where she's doing this. I was about to say something crazy.
Well, no, you can say you won't say it, dog. Say what you want to say. I give you the freedom to say what you want to say. Go ahead.
But no, I can't say it because I want to say something crazy. But.
Okay. Well, let your conscience be your guide, man. Let your conscience be your guide. Let's continue to look at this malady, this man, and tell me what you thought about this whole negative association about men traveling, and it's obvious it's an attack on men that are traveling, and they see you as the face of the movement. not the face per se. You're part of it. But hold tight.
What you're doing right now matches to those great
in your travel itinerary. It's one of the travel goals for a community called the Passport Bros, meaning brothers. It's a traveling community of upwardly mobile black men. Some are accused of going around the world searching for a more traditional and submissive wife. But is it all about sex and just a girlfriend for hire and then return home to humiliate black women in America? That's the controversy that we're dealing with. One of its members, Auston Holleman, is apologizing for comments that he made about Brazilian women. Take a listen.
What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy. I know that now. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise himself, he will have an easier time in Brazil, as opposed to where I was from. That wasn't always the case.
Both American and women around the world are speaking out against the Passport Bros, arguing these guys are using their status to take advantage of women. And
also, what do you think about this visceral hate, man? This visceral hate towards men that are traveling, men that are living their lives on their own terms and freedom. What's your take on this visceral hate, but also this simp playing right into the hands of this? What's your take on it, brother?
Well, I'm not upset with him. It's just media. It's typical media. Once I heard it was, not even once I heard it was on Fox News, even in a Brazilian newspaper, the way how they worded things, I was like, they're just making that sound bad. They have a habit of making things sound bad. Stuff like this reminds you why Trump called it the fake news.
That's right.
That this is like literally like the perfect example of that. But I spoke with him last night because we did an interview that's supposed to air here in a couple of hours. 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is what he told me. The energy that he had in that video, where it kind of seemed like he was kind of siding with the women and called us. At one point, he called them Johns.
Right, called us Johns, right.
And I asked the woman, did he say that? And she said he didn't. But I'm like, it's on YouTube.
Oh, he said it. I'm about to show it to you, young man. Hold tight.
Yeah. I was like, I saw it.
Yeah, I'm about to show it to you. He did call you Johns. Hold tight.
Even calling it a form of sex tourism and sex trafficking. Let's talk about it. Communications specialist Priscilla Pack and Rochelle Gemini both are here on The Factor Uncensored. We were supposed to do this last week. We're doing it this week. You have done a lot of research. When you think about and what you've heard about Passport Bros, your opinion on this so-called group.
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar. You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9, so that's cool. Passport brothers, that's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care. But
that being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
So Austin's Passport Bros a flex, or it's just a celebration of power because of the lack of respect that's been given to black men over a span of time?
Say that one more time. Say that last part in here.
Yes, sir. It's Passport Bros a flex, or is it just the celebration of power because black men and men in general have been powerless for a span of time?
Well, the real question is, what difference does it make? Why does it even matter to them?
Right. Why does it matter? Right.
What flex are they talking about? Flexing what? Right.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. But they see it as a flex. BMT, if that's you, yeah, you can come on BMT, but I need to see you in the background. Sometimes, people can use your banner. They can be fake. So BMT, yeah, you can come through, brother. But this, if you come through, I need to see your face in the background. So you got to show your face in the background. I think it is you, but I got to see your face. So yes, BMT, you can come through. Let's finish. Listen to this real quick. Hold tight.
Right, that want to be a little
maybe
more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
And that's what they're covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Auston, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him.
What did this... She took you out of context, man. Break it down for the audience, man.
Yeah, well, number one, I never even said sex or intercourse. I never said neither one of those words. I said go home.
Right.
But, I mean, is she accusing that woman of being a prostitute? Because from my knowledge, she definitely wasn't a prostitute.
Right.
I put out a vlog a few hours ago, and I made it clear that just because these people are in my videos does not mean I'm sleeping with them. I don't get online and tell people who I'm sleeping with.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
That'd be rude. That would no. But anyway, this woman, I don't know. It's typical. I mean, I'm used to hearing it from them. I'm not worried about them. You know, American women, they're pretty much pumping the same propaganda every time they get a chance. Yeah, they're just irrelevant, but
right. Definitely irrelevant, man, to say the least. Sadly, but this woman is so engendered into putting you down and also putting down men celebrating their power and their freedom.
That's what's really about to happen. Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out saying, we know these passport bros, they not new.
So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply John.
Now, you heard what he said, Austin. This is the comment where this man, they lied that they called them Johns. What's your take on this foolishness, man, about calling men Johns? What's your take on that?
Are there some Johns that go overseas? Of course. There's always an exception. But I would love for them to prove that to be the majority of the men going overseas. They're trying to accuse me of being a John. I would love for them to pull up a video where they've seen me promote, hey, you need to come to South America or Asia. You need to come down here and buy. I've never told anybody. You've heard me say numerous times I don't enjoy that type of environment where I feel like I would have to. There's just a bunch of prostitutes running around. I don't like those type of environments.
You've been able to internalize why the hate is so strong towards you.
Internalize why it's so strong?
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess we could say because of how I started out, because I started out on a controversial route. And actually, I take that back. I actually did it. The first video that went viral, where I was describing why, after I came back from Brazil, dating in the U.S. was pretty much ruined for me. I didn't shit on American women or anything like that whole video. At the end, I said, American women, get y'all shit together. That's all I said. And originally, I wasn't going the route of taking my entire career where you see me be controversial, go back and forth with American women and talk about them. That's me responding to my comments. I might not tag the comments, but I read the comments and I'll make a video about all these different comebacks they have. But originally, I was just here just to tell dudes, hey, you can get a better deal here. Try this. The women here like this. And the negativity I was met with made me respond the way I did. Now, did I take it? Now, did I go on for too long with it? Maybe so.
I appreciate your honesty. Right. Good job. I respect your honesty, man. So when you go ahead, Austin. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
I probably should have stopped by the time I moved overseas, which I did. But I was advised, like, hey, you need to, kind of go back on your rants. Because at first I was practicing ignoring them. And I was like, okay, I don't mind. And once I started going back on the rants, I just didn't stop. But the rants isn't what got me in trouble.
Right.
Honestly, to be honest with you, this is why I don't like American women like that, because had I never been online doing any rants about American women anyway, they would still be siding with this Brazilian woman that's pushing it.
True. Right.
They would still be trying to get me locked up. Whether if I ever spoke about America, for example, someone like Zoom in Thailand, he doesn't do anything like what I do. I've never seen him, try to talk or go back and forth about American women or do what I, kind of criticize him the way I have. And had he been in the same situation, they would still try to do the same. It would be no different. It would be no different.
Yeah. Cortez Smith said that according to your boy Barber, all you did was attack black women, which makes no sense. You didn't. You talked about American women. You talked about American women behavior. I heard you say it several times. I want you to expound on that.
So I spoke with him. We're cool. I spoke with him. I don't know why he says black women. I don't know why people keep saying that. I think I probably had 3 videos where I spoke about black women, 3 short clips, like 60-second clips. And it's usually me responding to a black woman. Isn't it? I've never came after one specific race. And I would love for them to show me if I have. I would love, I always say, I would love for you to show me. I would love for you to prove me wrong because I know what I'm talking about. I've never came for black women in general, but for some reason, it's not just black men that say that. It's black men that don't date women that say that. It's black women that say that. They're like, yo, he's despising black women. If anything, I'm despising American women. Like I always say, my title say American women.
Right.
But that's how you know they're that's how you know they're narcissists, because they think that they're the only ones in the U.S. population that have a female identity.
Right. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. And as I said, man, the visceral hate, hold tight, is appalling. Let me see. I don't know what happened. Why can I get the screen on? Hold on a minute, Austin. Things a little slow. Okay, hold tight. Here we go.
Streets of America.
There might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but you didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we're not just in America. You can claim wherever you want to be anytime. I don't care. Get a passport. Go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal.
I want to
do
ask
your
you a
thing.
question.
We don't care.
Go ahead, Austin.
What was that supposed to mean? She said that's how you know that she's just filling up the time slot in the video. I want to let y'all know that we're not just in America. And then she follows that with, y'all can claim wherever y'all want to be. Where did that even correlate?
Right.
She's just talking.
Right. And they all say the same goofy talking points, but it's obvious they have some type of visceral hate, because if they didn't, they wouldn't care. Why talk about somebody you don't even care about? Doesn't make any sense. If I'm a nobody, I'm the trash man, then why care? Cortez said what right now? So Austin, we're gonna talk about that. Are all passport bros the same, Austin, in your opinion? Or there's some poop moms that more or less make the good passport bros or the blue book gentlemen look bad? What's your take on that?
You always have a group of people that, or a small minority of people that make, the majority of people look bad. Just like you have some, you have, not all American women are the same. There are some good American women, but unfortunately, from my eyes and many other millions of men's eyes, it seems that there's that they're not all good, and all passport bros aren't like me. Like I moved, okay? Most of these dudes either won't go or they're going to travel back and forth. I chose not to travel back and forth. That's why when they're trying to hit me with sex tourism, look, first of all, sex tourism, I was not considering being a tourist anyway, number one. Right. I took all my stuff from the United States to Brazil with me. I didn't have plans on coming back. That's why I didn't go back. That's why I'm not even going to get into that. But no, all passport bros are not the same. I cannot control what people are doing. I can't. I mean, people have different personalities, and everybody's not the same. But I want to say this too. A lot of people have called me the leader of the passport bros. I've never said that. If I have said that, please show me where I said it. Right. I have just allowed that people to say that. I've never came out and said that. I just want to say that because they're going to try to hold me responsible as, whatever is going on and you're responsible for it. I've never even claimed that.
Right. I never heard you say it either. Go ahead.
I didn't even come up with that term, passport bros. I didn't even come up with that term.
Right.
This was out before me.
Right. I think BMT came up with it. BMT, if you're in the house, man, free to come up. But make sure you're facing the back because we know we got a lot of trolls trying to pose. And Austin is a hot topic now. And some are trying to use this as a moment to disrespect him. So BMT, if you want to come through, come through. Guys, if you like the show, donate to the channel. Go check out Auston Holleman and also share the content. So go donate to the channel. And also, guys, to the 76 that are watching, we got some more information for you guys. The robot said that, you know, he got bills to pay. And guys, do me a favor, go feed the algorithm. Thank you. Right, we're gonna finish listening to this Austin through, and we're gonna break this thing down. I'm gonna let Cody come in and chop it up, and also
we're not talking about all individuals who may travel out of the country, but Priscilla, for those who may be taking advantage of women out there and then trying to humiliate black women in America, your thoughts about that?
I think it's really, really sad. Like I look at them and I almost want to pity them, but then I don't because there's a level of ignorance that's deplorable. Go ahead and use that word today. I think that they are taking advantage, at least from what they project themselves to be as a group. They're taking advantage of gender gaps and economic opportunities.
Now, guys, listen to this goofball. She said they're taking advantage. How can you take advantage of somebody that's willfully giving? I mean, that makes no sense to me. A person can't come into a strong man's house unless they allow them to come in. Shout out to my man, Big Boss Real Talk, Boss Alini in the house. He said, strong, stand strong, young man. The feminists are using you to clout for their agenda. Shout out to Coach in the panel and the chat. Don't let your enemies define you. Don't break any laws. Live your best life.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Also, shout out to my man.
Right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Again, he said you can see the disrespect of black men by bringing on black women to speak instead of a man. That's right. Big Truck Series has made a point about that in his stream. Shout out to Big Truck Series. Shout out to him. And then also shout out to Passport Mastery TV for the $10 super sticker, man. And I appreciate it. Hearing that woman say that, Austin, they're trying to take advantage, because we know that's a lie. But why so much hate, in your opinion, towards black men on this issue? Not only slandering your name, and we know why, it's about power and control, but what have you internalized about this whole malady, in your opinion?
Why do I feel like they're slandering, black men?
Not only black men, but you as well. Why so much hate, in your opinion?
As far as black men, I think that they're trying to slander our name because they don't really have nothing else, and they've pretty much lost. And they're upset with the fact that men are putting word out there that you can get a better deal overseas. So that it's like Kevin Samuels used to say, it's just a sign language that doesn't work. But that's all they got to come with. As far as me, I'm still trying to figure out myself why, it's going so hard on me. Because I've seen somebody did a side-by-side comparison video where they had, and I don't like to ever pull the race card. I don't ever victimize myself by race. But this was true. They had a white dude that asked pretty much the same question, and there was no outrage about it. And it's still on YouTube.
Austin, bring it, man, and we're gonna break it down Saturday. I'm gonna have Dre up here, and I want to bring you back on Saturday too, man. It's gonna be another powerful show, man. Shout out to my man Brandon Jett for the $50 hitter. Brandon Jett showing love, and Brandon Jett, because of your kindness, Brandon Jett, you are the #1 sponsor of this stream. Thank you, Brandon Jett. We're going to finish listening to this, and then I'm going to let you other brothers talk, and then also we're going to finish breaking this thing down. Hold tight.
That are not there in these other countries that are present for us in America, in the States, in Canada, in Scandinavia, all over the world, and not even thinking back to the history of why are women and people made to be so independent in this country today. I think there's so many factors that they shove to the side for their preferences and trying to deem it a movement, which is so disappointing to hear. The civil rights movement was a movement.
Facts.
You know, anti-apartheid movement was a movement.
Come on.
So I'm thinking of passport bros like, this is a shame. You could really take advantage of your opportunity to educate people on how to get a passport, to go overseas, travel the world, and to learn, and not just make it be about sex. And the fact that now you're putting this stigma on people and black people in America, that is literally mushing us down. I hate that I said mushing, couldn't find a better word right there. But like bringing us down. Right, they all know, they know. But what does that do for our perspective?
Them talk some of them, not all of them, talk so badly about black women in America, saying you guys are too bossy, you're too much, you're not feminine enough for them.
I think that sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to.
And once again, guys, this type of woman and many will never get a husband because this is the minimization of masculinity. I'm going to say it again. This is the minimization of masculinity. They're trying to minimize. Anytime men say something, they minimize it instead of changing their behavior. They minimize what men are saying, guys, because in the clinical world, it's a concept that we use called egocentria, because many are very delusional. And see, that's solipsism being on full display, because see, solipsism cannot see anything outside of itself. But a high-value woman and a woman of substance will look at herself and say, maybe it's something I can do to become a better woman so that men can stay here in America. But many times, guys, they won't do it because they feel like in order to justify their bad behavior, because they have egocentria, you're the problem. But no, ladies, you're the problem, the ones that are causing chaos. Shout out to the good women that are not doing it. Men are getting sick of the disrespect, and they ain't got a damn thing to do with no insecurity. Men don't feel safe around women that are not feminine and honorable and respectful. Look at yourself. Get yourself together if you want a good man. But you know what? I think that ship is turned. Men are checking out, and men are beginning to live their lives on their own terms. Shout out to my man, Tim Howard, for that 5. He said, this indeed is not more than them being afraid of losing customers. They know they'll be losing money, attention, and men to boost their egos. And you're right. Tim Howard, many of these women, and I think you guys, we talked about it earlier in the show, many of these women, guys, they want a rep. They want resources, attention, time, security, and sex, and sell them it for, boxes they gave to multiple men for free. They want a rep. And Austin and brothers, they don't just want white rest. They want white rest. They want black rest. They want Wanda rest. They want all kinds of rest. They want rest from a spectrum of men here in the West because they want to control men, and they want men to tap dance and do what they say because they want power in the relationship. But guys, I'm telling you on tonight, don't let them tell you how to be men. You stand firm in your masculinity. Don't waver in your convictions. Set values for yourself and have boundaries. Austin, there were some that tried to throw you under the bus. So I'm sure you felt alone, but I did the show when I did it because I've been under witch hunts. I've been under attacks. I've lost jobs for baseless allegations in the past. And I didn't want to leave you out there, young man, because I didn't think you did nothing wrong. You definitely did nothing illegal. And you didn't do nothing wrong. The wrong could be in the perception of the person that assumed you did something wrong. But when you look at your videos and others, like someone was saying, there's really no difference than what other men have said and done. But for some reason, they saw you as a damn soft target because this woman has a visceral hatred towards black men. Hold tight and finish playing this real quick, and then we're going to let these brothers talk on the panel. Hold tight.
To seek what you want with what you have, where you are. That's what I really think about that. It almost disgusts me, and it's borderline gaslighting to sit here and treat American women, American black women, and try to shut us down because we may be educated or have the ability to obtain certain finances and social status that we're not in other countries.
And you attract.
It's a shame.
What you put out there, too.
It's a shame.
All right.
Like, don't put that on us. Yeah, don't put that on us.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Still ahead on the...
And that's why they're going to be ashamed. Also, I know you got to go closing comments, man. And also Saturday, man, we want you back. I want you back in the house. I got some more heavy hitters coming to on Saturday. We're going to have a comprehensive show. Passports and Pearls 2023 up. So what's your closing comments, man? And thank you for coming through, young man.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me again, giving me a chance to speak up on your platform. I want to say to show you, it really is that bad now. Now you can see how bad it really is. Just the fact that me trying to tell y'all that there's better options, they're trying to pin false claims on me to stop that. Luckily, they're false, right? So that, there's no real, that's not going to go anywhere. But there will be an apology made when this is all said and done.
Yes, sir, yeah.
There will be an apology. My name will.
Right.
My name will. All those articles that were written, I'm going to have them go back, and they need to apologize for how they basically try to destroy my name, not just in Brazil, all over South America.
Right.
There's people in Colombia that know about this.
Right. Defaming your character and putting not only your life at risk, but also your character as a man. So I totally agree with you, man. You definitely need to seek some legal recourse, and I'll let you keep that between yourself. Look forward to trying to see you on Saturday, man. Go enjoy yourself, man. I know you got things to do where you're at, man. I thank you for coming on, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Text me in the back, man, if you can come do Saturday, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Be good. All right.